The finals match between Dynasty and Impact at the 2023 NXL World Cup was nothing short of spectacular, with both teams perfectly showcasing the reasons why they deserve to be there. If you didn't catch it live, you definitely missed out, but not to worry, you can get full access coverage of all the NXL events this year by clicking the link down in the description below. With Dynasty facing their chances at winning 4 World Cup events in a row, Impact was sure to give it their all at a chance at winning their first World Cup event since 2017. With an incredible back-and-forth battle that was ultimately decided by a genius tactical retreat, you better believe we were going to look at the lessons learned in this series. My name is Steven from SVP Paintball. Buckle up, hit the like button, and let's get into it. Point 1 sets the tone for the series with a 5-on-5 breakout in nearly identical positions for both teams. Impact takes ground early with Trevor Reeser getting into the center wedge off the break and eventually adding another player in the laydown door. Darula supports these positions by moving to the snake tower behind them. At the top of the mid game, both teams have 3 guns looking snake way and 2 guns looking Dorito way. With the point gridlocked, the ball is now in Ryan Greenspan's court as it's up to him to relieve pressure by getting into the center wedge for Dynasty. The gridlock is eventually broken when Archie gets shot out of his bunker, making it a 4-on-5 in favor of Impact. Impact holds strong on their jobs as they try to find another pick, but Arturo Andrade equalizes Dynasty's down body situation by shooting out Trevor Reeser from the center wedge, making it a 4-on-4. Ryan follows this up by pushing the center wedge and shortly after, past the 50-yard line, looking to break Impact's defense. Zupa manages to see this move and pushes into the snake to find the shot onto Ryan. Amidst the chaos off camera, Arturo gets into the snake and Marcelo kicks out to the snake can. Zupa pushes into the snake too while Arturo does the same. However, Arturo takes too big of a bite and gets shot just as he passes the 50 brick. It's now up to Marcelo and Chris Shear to pull this point back for Dynasty. Tyler Penlilio overextends his positioning in the Doritos and is shot by Marcelo, making it a 2-on-3. But in an effort to get into a better defensive position, Marcelo tries to make it to the snake can, but is shot on his way out, giving Impact the win in this lengthy first point. The lesson learned: always assume someone saw you make a move until proven otherwise. Doing so will heighten your sense of danger, causing you to either protect yourself or to get proactive looking for opportunities to capitalize on your positioning. Greenspan's push up the middle was the play to open things up and potentially win the point for Dynasty, but his hesitation to run down Matt Jackson in what likely would have been an even trade gave Zupa enough time to find the angle he needed to dig out Ryan. Being sneaky can pay off, but indecision or hesitation will negate any craftiness in your play. Point 2 starts with Dynasty shooting Matt Jackson out of the snake tower, while Impact shoots out Archie as he runs to the snake corner off the break. Ryan barely misses Darula as he tries to fill Matt's position in the snake tower. Ryan continues his aggression by pushing into Impact's center wedge, looking to pick off Darula in a cheeky snapshot. They eventually trade out as they continue their back and forth battle, making it a 3-on-3. Immediately after the fight in the middle, Zupa drops out of the snake can for Impact, making it a 3-on-2. Dynasty finds another pick as they shoot out the back center, leaving Tyler as the last player remaining for Impact, who makes a valiant effort in trying to repel Dynasty's attack, but is eventually shot out by Marcelo, giving Dynasty the point. The lesson learned: where you trade bodies matters. If you're in better field positioning than your opponent, a trade is a worse exchange for you than it is them. Ryan trading out with Darula while he's in Impact's wedge is a mistake, as the pressure Ryan is applying to Impact simply by being alive is massive, and had he survived, Darula would have eventually gotten picked off, whether it be through a desperate attempt at running down Ryan or through the push that would have come from either side of the field. Had Zupa not gotten plucked out of his bunker right after these two traded out, it would have been a 3-on-3 with both teams in identical positions and perhaps ended very differently for Dynasty. Point 3 starts with a 5-on-5 breakout, with Chris Shear using one of his 9 lives while running out to the Doritos. Nevertheless, Impact opts to delay from the home as they push up the middle shortly after the breakout. Shear's early positioning allows him to quickly push up to the Dorito 3 and under the guns that were assigned to stop him. He eventually makes it to the Dorito 50 and drops the hammer on Impact, shooting out both the center wedge and laydown door, making it a 5-on-3. Dynasty eventually shoots out Brandon Cornell out of the back center, making it a 5-on-2, which should warrant a towel from Impact, but they opt to play out the point a bit longer, which ends in Dynasty shooting out the remaining players and winning the point. The lesson learned: you must keep track of your opponent's attackers at all times by having good coverage across the field. Barring the fact that he wasn't pulled for being hit in the pack, Chris was able to get up to the Dorito 3 quickly because the only person looking his way for Impact was their back center player. Dalton Vanderbilt did switch towards the Dorito side from the Dorito can, but by that point, Chris was already past where Dalton could see. By the time Chris was at the Dorito 3, Impact lost where he was, which you can see by noticing where the back center player is shooting. In most cases, you should have at least 2 guns guns holding one side of the field off the break. Having only one gun looking Dorito way is the reason Chris was able to get to the 50 Doritos so quickly and win the point for Dynasty. Impact risks Zupa out wide to the snake corner off the break in point 4, but is shot just as he slides into the bunker. Dynasty pushes their body advantage by getting 2 players in either towers in the middle of the field. Both teams trade bodies as Dynasty loses Archie out of the snake insert, while Impact loses Trevor Reeser out of the back center. Dynasty at the top of the mid game loses another body out of the snake tower, giving Impact slightly better field positioning. With under 5 minutes left to go, both teams try to solve the puzzle as they look for picks in a prolonged mid game. The ball is now in Matt Jackson's court to open things up for Impact, but Dynasty knows that as they focus 2 guns his way. Ryan makes a move up the center wedge, focusing his attention on the snake side of the field. Ryan and Matt engage in a scary snap battle as both teams look to secure this crucial 4th point win. Zupa gets an incredible shot in on Ryan as he switches towards the inside of the field, making it a 3-on-2 and putting them in the driver's seat. Sheer ditches out to the Dorito 1, while Marcelo gains intel and applies pressure over the top of his bunker. Impact stays put, while Dynasty goes on the attack with a shift towards the Dorito side. Being down by 1 point in the series, it's up to Impact to secure this win, but Dynasty continues their attack by getting Chris into the 50 Dorito. Dynasty digs into their bunkers as they try to stretch out this point while looking for an opening in Impact's defense. Matt Jackson finally puts things together and looks to get crafty, scanning for the remaining 2 players for Dynasty. Chris shoots out Zupa just as Jackson starts to run through the center of the field. Jackson pushes past Marcelo's zone of control, forcing Marcelo to live behind his gun, all the while still continuing to look for Chris Shear. Shear is eventually eliminated by Jackson just as Marcelo tries to surprise Jackson with a cheeky reposition, only to run through his gun, giving Impact the point with under 2 minutes to go. The lesson learned: recognize when the ball is in your court and do something before it's too late. This point almost went south for Impact because Matt Jackson was too hesitant to push down the center of the field. Granted, he probably didn't know exactly where Chris was, and it's possible Jackson knew that Dynasty knew the ball was in his court, meaning that he probably wanted to play extra safe. But even if he didn't go headhunting, it was on him to get the intel he needed to make a play before his opponents did. Good on Matt Jackson for eventually putting things together and winning the point for Impact. With the series all tied up with under 2 minutes to go, this point 5 will determine the winner of the finals. Dynasty takes the lead in the early game as they shoot out Derulo from the back center. Dynasty now looks to dictate the pace of the game as they establish control of the field with their body advantage. The snake tower for both teams moves into the laydown door to establish control. For Dynasty, the Dorito side; for Impact, the snake. 60 seconds is announced and both teams look for opportunities to steal the win. Arturo moves up to the center wedge, but is eliminated immediately after. Archie lands an incredible shot onto Mike Zupa, equalizing their losses and making it a 3-on-3. Impact turns up the heat by pushing the middle, but Archie gets into the snake, countering the push. The center wedge shoots out Archie, but just as that happens, Marcelo makes a move that will ultimately determine the outcome of the finals. In an incredible 3-way trade, Ryan shoots Trevor Reeser just as he gets shot by Tyler Penlilio. At the same time, Marcelo shoots out Matt Jackson as he wraps the snake side of the middle. It's now a 1-on-1, but because of that tactical retreat, Tyler doesn't know where Marcelo is. Marcelo keeps his head on a swivel and catches Tyler off guard, winning their 4th World Cup in a row for Dynasty. The lessons learned: first, beware of running the same breakout every point, even if you think it's the safest option. In every point of this series, Impact either delayed at the back center or doubled it up. Dynasty knew this and landed a key kill onto one of Impact's back center players, giving them the advantage in the early game. Granted, the same could be said for Dynasty in that they never doubled the back center, but at least the routes they took were varied and slightly less predictable. Impact relying on the double stack all series long is likely the catalyst for their loss in this game-ending point 5. Second, if you're going to take big bites, do so with your gun up. Trevor Reeser dying out of the middle for free could have been hedged had he done so with his gun pointing towards the Dorito side. In all fairness, even if Trevor had made this move with his gun up, he may not have traded out with Ryan anyway, but at least the chance was there. Granted, all of this was negated by the fact that Tyler shot out Ryan regardless, but this would have been an even greater loss had Ryan not gotten shot. And third, always, and I mean always, be cautious of clearing the field until you know where your opponent is. In fairness to Tyler, he was probably feeling pressure to score the point quickly as there wasn't much time left. And to Marcelo's credit, he made one of the most influential tactical retreats we've probably seen in years. It's likely that Tyler knew Marcelo was still alive somewhere on the snake side of the field, but had he played even a little more cautiously, he could have survived, delaying the point until overtime, or perhaps even won the point for Impact. It's hard to fault Tyler too much here when that was such an excellent move by Marcelo. Now, Impact does hang the towel with 16 seconds left, causing them to play one final point, but it's pretty much over. Impact isn't able to get past Dynasty's defense or draw out any major penalties, giving Dynasty their 4th World Cup win in a row, further cementing their status as the greatest paintball team in the history of the sport. Thank you to those who stuck with us this far. Leave a comment down below letting us know what lessons you learned that will benefit you the most this season. We'll see you next time.